We find ourselves in the final game of the community portion of Regicide Rumble 6. We've got 8 players, and they've got their kings out there somewhere, and they've also got vills, and this is Random World. Now, right off the bat, you're going to notice there's a lot of water, and if you've seen Random World before, you probably know that games can kind of be problematic when it comes to wood. T West, who worked on all the maps for me, has made it so all the trees have more wood. So as I select these trees, all the trees I've selected so far have 150 wood per tree. So in total, there should be over 500,000 wood. In fact, there's just over 500,000 wood instead of the traditional like 300,000. So I wanted to point that off right off the bat. And of course, Random World generates its own world every single time. This doesn't really look anything like our current world, but who knows? You know, give it a couple thousand years, maybe it will. We'll see where the players end up and how things are going to pan out here. Now, I'll start the intros with one of the players we rigged in here, who's here in the red. Yes. Where is he, actually? He's here. This is Def Vader. Now, Regicide Rumble 5, his name was Darth Vader. I think he was like 16 years old, 1400 elo, didn't play with headphones, and he sniped people with Teutonic Knights and Siege Towers. He was incredibly entertaining to watch. Ended up making one of our finals, and so I said we had to rig this player back in. This player is now 1700 elo, so he's gotten very good. Apparently still does not play with headphones for whatever reason. I think he won like $200 in Regicide Rumble 5. Still no headphones. But this player's playing as the Berbers. So he's gone for the Berbers here instead. Already chatting to people. And went to Pickled Cabbage and said, are we still friends? Now, Pickled Cabbage was the other player we actually rigged in because Pickled Cabbage was very competitive and I think made the finals. I think Pickled Cabbage killed 3 people in their game last time and made a final. Usually that's what we're doing. We're rigging in people who made the finals, making sure they have a chance to come back. So the fact that they're next to each other is actually pretty incredible. And Def Vader's already going at it here. He says we should try and befriend Vascarius. And let's see why he says why. Okay, he says mainly because his Civ is OP. That's interesting. Okay, so that was going to be who I was going to go to next. But let's actually just go around the map in more systematic approach. So maybe we move over to yellow. Yellow's kind of on their own. I don't recall casting this player before. Maybe they were in a community game, but there haven't been a ton of them anyways. This is Call of Valhalla. This person's 1300 elo. Way in the north then, as we make our way along, notice there's a lot of open space. In the orange, we have Ne Salami, who I think has played before because I remember making a joke about Salami. Maybe it was another Salami. They are 1100 elo playing as the Britons. In the purple, we've got, and just now building their TC actually, which is very late, is Armitage. Armitage does not have an elo next to their name, so maybe they're lower ranked. I think this is their first community game, so best of luck. They're playing as the Celts. In the green, we have Vascarius, long-time community game player. Played pre-definitive edition, like has been around a lot, and is playing as the Bengalis. In the gray, we have Frost the Big Dog, who has docked a tiny little pond, which is hilarious. Could be worse. There is one deep fish in there. There is a short fish too, but that's a little embarrassing. Now, Frost the Big Dog played in the game Force Something on YouTube, and this person's really funny. And he picked Byzantine, so I think he'll actually be a threat at 1200 elo. And then last but not least, we have Fiery Avocado. I believe this is their first game as well, playing as the Koreans. Okay? That's the intros. So we have 2 players that don't have an elo next to their names, presumably unranked. We have 2 players I think are the big, like, kings of the game. Def Vader and then Vascarius. And a reminder, it is $25 per king snipe. It is $100 for first. It is $50 for second. It is $25 for third. And then there's also a fan favorite vote. So there is money on the line here. And we'll see how things end up going. Yeah, true. Gray's transport ship might have started here. Maybe this is a bug? Nah, because how did he scout all the... Oh, I guess it's shared exploration. I guess, Arbase, if you're watching, I normally don't want shared exploration on in Dark Age. This is the first game I've actually noticed this. So maybe something to talk about for the future games, but it is shared exploration because they're all allied right now. Actually, the only one that isn't allied, it looks like Yellow has not accepted Gray's alliance, or Gray is not allied Yellow. Oh my god, Frost the big dog. He's gonna...
Yes.
He says to us, this game I will be JFK. Yeah, so I remembered him because he was George W. Bush last time he played in a game. And I forget the quote. Maybe someone can get the quote of the something about destroying the enemies. Now watch me hit this drive. He dropped that at last time. So I'm a little nervous right now for what exactly Frost the Big Dog's going to say. But, you know, it is regicide. So, you know, maybe he can get us. I don't know if someone got paid $25 to assassinate him. But, you know, there's $25 here. So I kind of like the approach here from Dev Vader. So far, anyways, to be maybe one of the favorites and to be chatting this much is a good sign. Sometimes the higher ranked players don't do that. I just wanted to look around the map to see where people can move, because sometimes these areas aren't connected. It seems like for the most part, the land areas are connected by some shallows. Gray says the dock is actually fine. So I guess you can maybe pass through here, which I'm guessing is how Gray got the transport to the other side. So the dock's not too bad. And Dev Vader, who ended up playing some pros last Regicide Rumble, says to Teal and says to Green, remember to hotkey your kings to not end up like some pros. Yeah, we don't want to mention any pros' names here. We don't want to call anyone out. That would be a little disrespectful. Pickled Cabbage speaking to Blue as well, which is probably smart. I don't think you want to be only friends with Red, because Red is so dangerous. And Blue says, I'm not friends with anyone else yet. What about you? And, oh my god, Gray has begun. He says, hello, my good American peoples. I am a good friend to you all and simply want the best for all peoples of the world. Oh, boy. All right. Well, I mean, what do? Do I not read his quotes? There's a chat filter, right? If he says, if he ends up saying anything crossing a line, it's going to be muted, right? Again, last time he would make these declarations and it was so funny. Okay, he says to Blue, I am a proud patriot of our avocado exports, and henceforth I love them. And Blue says to everybody, good, good. So Fiery Avocado, I guess, going to be friends here with Frost the Big Dog. Also, lots of water. So I think civs that don't have a good navy will really struggle here. I think Celts would be the worst. Also wanted to double check the vill count here. Guys, 14 villagers for purple. We haven't seen purple speak. Purple hasn't even hit 20 population yet. I love purple already. This is an example. I've said it doesn't matter your elo. It doesn't matter if you're super noob. Just sign up and see what can happen. This is a big example. It's still 14 population for purple. I love the fact that purple's got in here. We'll see if someone sees that as an easy $25 or what. Also, Khmer was not picked here. Khmer won the first 3 games of Regicide Rumble 6. Nobody picked Khmer. So I guess that streak for the Khmer will end. Also, Orange, don't have your king standing out here, please. Like, in fact, everyone should have their king hidden away somewhere. Super dangerous. But, yeah, we're just chilling. You can see the big difference here. Purple's about to hit feudal. Green just hit feudal. And we already have yellow on the way to castle. We should have Castle Age coming in eventually for everybody. Def Vader says, Call of Valhalla. Want to join me? Pickled Cabbage and Voskarius. So they're making a team. But it's weird. Like, Def Vader's team makes sense with everyone except Voskarius, because Voskarius is on the other side of the map. The reason he's doing this is because he thinks Voskerius has a really OP Civ. Now, it might also be because Voskerius also is second highest elo. But the team of... with these three would make sense because they're all pretty close together. Green is definitely an outlier there. Yellow says we play until we eliminate the others. And that's not a bad strat, because if you get top 3, you get cash. And obviously you're going to want teammates. Voskerius, in my experience watching him, he's going to be completely fine with that. He's normally one who wants to stick with team until the later stages of the game. We don't tend to see a lot of chatting, a lot of backstabbery. Orange has noticed that there's 2 spectators watching. So obviously one is me. I don't know who the other one would be. Doesn't really matter. But Orange has not noticed that the king is sitting right there. This is regicide. The king is staring off into the distance like he's pondering his existence. He's wondering, should I have wielded my power against my citizens as I have? Or should I have been a kinder king? Should I have maybe eaten one less cheeseburger? Because I'm quite fat. I don't know, but it's on the water, and if Red notices it, that's a demo away from killing it. And Red just went to this dock to make fishing ships, so might actually look over here. Anyways, I'm not inclined to think that Orange is going to remember that king is there. So... okay, Gray speaking again, says, now Blue, shall we sign an official non-aggression pact and trade agreement to further our avocado exports? No response yet, but Gray's all about the official communication, which is interesting. Gray may need to officially expand as well. There's not a lot of land here. God, I'm not going to be able to look anywhere else with this king here. That's 25 bucks. And it feels like the entry into the snipers game is maybe just 2 king snipes. It will depend on what happens in all the other games, of course. We had the previous game have multiple people with 2 king snipes. It might get a little bit tricky. But last time we had we didn't have that many people with 2 king snipes. We had someone in the snipers final with, I think, just 1 king snipe, but it was a very impressive king snipe. Because, of course, if you snipe a lot of kings... and you win, you always go to the winners final, and you don't go to the king snipers final. So that's what happened last time, is a lot of the winners had killed a lot of kings. Purple, first time I've really seen them chat too much. Talking about having Blue on the team. Says, hey, like, let me ask Blue. And Purple update. Purple at 17 eco, guys. 17. Still hasn't even reached 1,000 score. These players can do what they want. There's $25 on the line, and this is for their money to take. But if someone snipes Purple because Purple's an easy target, they are dead to me, and I will be rooting against them. At least if it's an early snipe. Now, Chad might not agree with me on that, but if this was a normal community game, people would say, kill the bully if Purple were to be killed off. Purple's house. Purple needs a couple houses. Taking their time. We'll see. Orange, how long is this king going to sit here? Orange is beasting it. Orange is top score right now. People have dreamt and thought of what are they going to say when they get into a community game. Some people act like former U.S. presidents. Other people leave their king on the shoreline. It's killing me. It's absolutely killing me. Where am I supposed to look right now? Here. But no one seems to know. And Gray, what else has Gray been saying? Says, hello, my northern neighbor. You must be Canada. Shall we form an alliance? Buscaria says, gladly. Gray says, simply splentastic. Our peoples will flourish together. And then, hold on. Gray says, green, where is Orange's king? Green says, no idea. Gray says, kill it, kill it. So he must see it because they're allied. Somebody needs to kill it. Is Gray going to make a demo and send it all the way over there? I mean, if you're really looking around, you could notice it. Gray says, I make demos. Gray's going to make demos from the other side of the map. No, don't tell people, though, because they have so much time to steal the money. Oh, my God. Bro's got to travel the earth for this king snipe. We'll see you in 10 minutes, guys. Frost says, we shall eradicate the most northern Arctic enemies and then work together, Green. No! No, now Voscarius says, Gray wants to kill Orange King. What do we do? And now Orange saw that from Voscarius and says, crap. Forgot about that guy and is bringing the king back. Oh, no. Gray, you shouldn't have said anything. You shouldn't have said anything. Oh. The fact that he likes to chat hurt him there. I love Frost. He's so funny. He says, Red's king is located here. We shall follow their movement. So,
yes.
But, I mean, right now, Voscarius, he is feeding information to his team. Like, he's got that other team, and Gray's saying this stuff. Vader says, Frost, what is that? Why are you making demos, Frost? And now Frost is going to speak to him for the first time. Blue says, which one is green? I am colorblind, lol. Oh, God. Okay, can people with colorblindness tell me, like, what? I guess it depends on the type of colorblind. Oh, I guess it all looks blue, maybe? Or all... I don't know. Purple says green is the Bengalis. And Fiery Avocado says thank you. So Gray is typing out a really long sentence right now. I can guarantee you that. Here's the populations. So very big difference in eco populations right now. I wonder if the demos were like walking past Red's docks. Red is already trading on water right now. And Gray tells Red where Blue's king is located. He says, we should try to overthrow everyone else's government to win the Cold War. Def Vader's what, 17? Do we think he even knows what the Cold War is? Is that disrespectful? He says, it's safe. That seems like a smart way to win. Okay. He says, who do you suggest first? And now Gray says, oh, hello, my red ally. I don't like red. What? Don't say that. That's not a good Diplo tactic, bro. You don't have enough power to be saying stuff like that. You might be Frost the Big Dog by name, but you're Frost the 46 population by night. Or, you know, by eco. Red just says why. Oh, is it because... the Soviets... that clicked for me last second. Okay, does not want to work with the communists. And Def Vader, excellent point, says, well, Red is also Canada. This is true. All right. And now Def Vader says, guys, Gray has beef with my color. And Frost says, true, I'm already allied with Canada, but I suppose another one can be formed. We shall ally. Guys, I think Gray's gonna die. I think all this talking is gonna talk Gray right into the grave. I think this is too much chat. I don't know if this is gonna work. Orange, a little concerned that Red is over here. And Def Vader's like, I don't know why he doesn't like me, but he says it's the Soviet Union. Red just building houses. There's a lot of open space here. And I know we added more trees, but we've lost 60,000 wood. We're down to 450k now. People need to be banking up res as much as possible. And Orange says that's what they all say. They're just houses. And Red offers to delete them. And Orange says, nope, go ahead and keep them. How is Pink doing? Pink is an AFK. Pink is just a beginner. 26 population. Going to wall up a little bit. Building a cute little tower to probably put the king in. And has just made it to Castle Age. And Red says, I would be down to be your ally. So they will have a deal. But the bigger issue for me with Gray is Gray needs to expand. Gray is still stuck in this area. But a lot of that's because Gray has been chatting so much. Gray will be Imperial Age. Gray is a lower elo player compared to the top players and very low score. So maybe Gray won't be killed. And Gray says, what does my Canadian friend think we should do? I think Vader is not going to want to do this roleplay stuff. I think Gray is just going to die. That's my prediction. I think there's no need to play the game if you're Red's perspective. Now, trading on water is the best way to get gold long-term on this map. And Berber ships are actually faster. So this is the best trade cog eco you could have, if not for Spanish. So well played to everyone who's trade cogging while there's still peace. Pickled Cabbage is asking about some of the other teams. And Def Vader seems to be very popular right now. Yellow's sneaky good, though. It's actually coming back to me. I think Yellow did play in a game. Like within the last year or something. Blue says, Gray stole my relic. Bleep, bleep, bleep for that. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Def Vader says, Gray is being really annoying, and Gray stole Blue's relic. Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, Frost has been entertaining for the viewers. But I don't know if people in the game are enjoying it. He says, can I offer anyone any financial aid to form friendly capitalistic governments? And now Def Vader says, guys, as a team, I am not the biggest fan of Gray. He's like, get this role-playing crap out of here. Blue says, yeah, can I have my relic back, please? But Blue didn't send that to Gray, so Gray's not going to get the message. And there goes the relic. And Def Vader's being a nice guy, reminding his team to hotkey as kings. And Vascarius says, if you want to take down Gray, we can. But Vascarius is right here. Also, King for Gray is just moved into... Oh, into the wood line, actually. Is it stuck again? Dude, we've been seeing so many kings get stuck in Regicide Rumble 6. That's like the third time, though that time the king didn't die. So I would assume that Gray is going to go down. Blue seems really upset about that. Really fired up about that. And they need a target eventually. No one wants to be the target themselves. So they're normally going to say yes to most of the deals. Michigan Man says the roleplay needs to stop, in my opinion. Well, the players agree. No one, like, there really hasn't been someone who has gotten on board with it so far, you know? And that... You just got to know your audience a little bit. I do appreciate that someone's having some fun with it for viewers' sake, but in terms of their success, it's going to be a problem. Gray is offering resources. Like, Gray's offering all these things. No one said yeah. Only person that responded was Blue. Blue wants the relic back, but Blue didn't send the message correctly. Okay, here we go. Orange says, you can give me res if that's your stick. Okay, well, someone accepted. And that could form some type of loyalty, potentially. Also, Gray's walking by with another relic. That's going to be... Whoa, that's going to be 6 relics. Guys, I think there's only 8 relics on the map. And another one... Gray's going to get another one. Guys, this could actually trigger the relic countdown. Which I didn't think was going to be possible. Hold on, how many... Maybe there's more than that. Let me double check the relics. Okay, I'm wrong. So yellow has 2 and teal has 1. So maybe there's something like 10. But if you get all 10 of them, it would trigger the countdown. Def Vader says, as of now, I would take some wood. Gray immediately sends wood. And then says, Orange, what resources would you like? And Orange says, 20k gold, please. 20k gold, please. I'll give you a sandwich in return. And, oh, okay, there we go. Homemade sandwich from Orange. 100 food sent to Gray. So, wasn't lying about the food. I like it. Lots of trade on the water, guys. Whoever has control of the Navy is going to control the trade route. The gold is flying in right now for everybody that's doing that. And someone just got attacked somewhere. I heard an attack noise. I don't know what that was. Well, hold on. Frost is still not allied with yellow? right? And yellow's... Yeah, they're enemies. Frost says, hi, can you friend me back? We aren't allied. And, okay, it looks like now that has been accepted. So I guess yellow had not accepted it. We'll look at the stockpiles now. I think I'm going to have to toggle over to military tab soon because people are going to start to produce a lot. Blue and purple are in really rough positions. Their economies are very weak. Everybody else seems in an okay spot. I think Frost the Big Dog's okay, being Byzantines. Again, purple's unranked. Purple's got this cute little space here, all walled up, trading. But yeah, it's... The total eco count for purple is still 32. So the number one rule of Age of Empires, as you're learning, just produce more villagers, get more eco. Purple will learn that eventually. Red says, let me see if I can bleed gray dry of his wood. I don't like him at all. Can I have some more wood gray? And Frost has still got to, like, send resources to other people. And Orange is pointing out, I asked for 20,000, so you now owe me 19,800. And Gray says, okay, give me some time, and I will give it. Wow, okay. Now, Red says, oh, Red's getting feisty. Red says, Gray, you need to stop. I am not liking it. I want to be your friend. And Gray's gonna be like, liking what? Like, stop being so friendly to people. Stop being so diplomatic in a Diplo game. That's horrible. He says, all of this chat makes me nervous. And Gray is probably like, oh, crap. I thought I was just being friendly. He says, okay, sorry. Do we think Def Vader is gonna go sniping people, or is he gonna play safe here? Because he's now got a reputation. Red says, I don't want to kill you, and that feels like a YouTube title right there. Just saying. Yeah, we've got these people built up in the south. You would expect teal, red, and yellow to always be kind of friendly. And Def Vader says, I don't think we're going to add Salami to our team. We let him cook. We need a target. Yes, they do need a target. Gray says to just us. Pesky Kami. So he doesn't want any players to hear that, but he's complaining that Red is being a jerk right now. He's not a fan that Red is not wanting to play along with his games. Oh my god, dude. Every game, I mean, okay, maybe not every game needs a player like this, but Gray is funny. The only thing that Gray has done wrong is he's tried too hard. If you just reach out and say, hey, want to be friends? People are used to that. But when you're like, citizens of the earth, who would like to embark on this journey of you know, dominance? Like, if you do that stuff, some people just don't jive with that, you know? Orange says, yo, Red, actually, about those houses, 11. Can you delete pretty please? Yeah, they talked about this earlier, and Red just says, okay, I'll delete the houses. And I guess Orange just needs the space. I'm not really seeing Orange chopping a lot of trees right now. And wood is going to end up being the most important resource on the map. Oh, I guess there's villagers being chopped here. But again, the trees do have more wood than your normal game. No one wants to be the first person to fight. No one wants to be the bully. $25 per kill, though. I could just go in there and take purple. I would judge them heavily for that. But then again, 25 bucks is just like... 25 bucks and the opportunity to get into the Snipers final kind of feels like a no-brainer. But then you might be painted as the enemy. Yellow is bordering orange. Yellow really wants to be friends with orange. But the others don't seem on board with that. I think yellow missed that and is asking again about it. Again, most of that trade running on the outside. Here's his stockpiles again. Salami actually has 8k gold, which is more than anyone. And 85 gold workers for Red is pretty high. It wouldn't surprise me if Red is buying stone. I think the reason Red doesn't have a lot of gold is because Red is buying stone for castles. And Death Vader really wants someone else to be the enemy. Whether it's gray or orange, I think that's the strategy. Because now Red's making this big deal about this. He's like, orange is making me mad now. He keeps telling me to delete houses. See, that's not that big a deal. That's not that big a deal. Red doesn't want to be the target here. Red's the strongest player. Red wants someone else to be the issue. I think that's the strat. And Vascarius says, Red, I getting angry at you, orange. Okay, he meant to say is. Bro, what a typo. Don't... Okay, hopefully they can figure this out. He says, Red, he meant to say Red is getting angry at you, Orange, messaging me by mistake, I think. But Orange immediately sees that and says, what? And now he says, what, back to Red. Green says, just be careful. Red now says to Orange, what happened? Oh, God, this could be a big, big chat issue. Big communication error about to happen. Because if Orange goes back and says, what did you mean, Green? Red didn't hear that from Green. And now Purple speaks up. Freaking Purple. Let's go. Let's go. Can't fight for crap. Purple. Very weak eco. Still taking board Purple. But Purple joins in and says, are you saying Red is becoming a problem? It's a good discussion to have. Vascaria says, well, he is the best player. He will eventually be the biggest problem. And then Orange says, well, he's a problem because he's not on our team. And Orange, you are sending that to Red. You are sending that to Red. And now Red says, who? Ah! If only they could communicate like Gray. And now Orange says, F these chat settings. He realizes he screwed up. Yes. He should respond to Red, honestly. He needs to get a response out before Red goes crazy. But he screwed that one up. And Red realizes something's going on here. He says, Orange might be prepping for a kill. This might be like a big 3v4 or 4v4 because Yellow wants to attack Orange, I think. Hi, Blue. How's it going? I miss Matthew, my greatest ally. Says Gray. Oh, Gray says this to us. Oh, I think he's talking about the Forest Something game. So the game he played in, he had a guy named Matthew he was friends with. But let's switch to military counts now. Green's up to 23, which isn't much, but it is the highest. And that looks like it's some Ratha. I don't think Blue is prepared to fight. I don't think Gray is prepared to fight. Purple's certainly not prepared to fight. So if a big battle happens, it's really just going to be Green and Orange versus Yellow, Red, and Teal. All right, chat. I have a question for you. If you're Pickled Cabbage... You sniped multiple players. You played well in Regicide Rumble 5 yourself. What's your game plan against Red? They're going to be allied for now. And that's a good alliance. But I think eventually Teal... I mean, maybe everybody's going to have to make a play on Red. Death Vader says, I don't think we should add Green to our team. He's too far away. Okay, that's a fair point. And now Vader goes to Orange and says, how can we stick to being friends? Nobody wants to make the first move because the longer they wait, the more gold they get. And the more gold they get, the better it becomes. 105 on gold for Red. That is probably all trade. He knows the trade will die eventually, but for now, he's soaking up the gold. He says, Salami, I think both our civs would work together very well with Yellow on our side. Which is a fair point. But I mean, no, we're just at that state of the game where no one wants to choose a side. No one wants to fight. I think Red needs to stop trying to make someone new look like the bad guy. I really think he should just tell his team, hey, I'm going for this guy. Like I'm going for Orange or something. But Orange does not believe this. He's like, what's your plan? He wants to hear him out. And Red says, I have a feeling Green is aligned with Orange. Which is correct. That's a very good call. Gray complaining about a pig. Apparently fixed that. I don't even know what that means. But Gray certainly prioritizing things. And Vascarius is also Red. Yellow's team sucks at chat. Red, yellow team sucks at chat. Oh, because they... Oh, God, because yellow screwed up. And yellow said, can hit from back, and green got that message. Oh, yikes. Okay, so they're definitely aware that something's happening here. They know what the teams are. We only have 140,000 wood left on the map. We added more wood. Look at this map, though. That's sick, actually. Holy. I want this to be like a screensaver. That looks really cool. With the trade running around the outside as well. That's satisfying. I would be buying wood right now if I were them. With whatever gold I have. Because it's really going to become important. And maybe they are doing that. I see yellow's got 50k wood and 114 on wood. So yellow's maybe prioritize the wood. And Vader says, Nay Salami, me and Teal are friends, right? And Salami's like, what about blue? Yeah, just trying to get an understanding. What are the teams like? I think it's kind of the right play if you're everyone to stay silent right now and just go along with the group. Don't be the guy who makes the decisions, as weird as that sounds. That's why the game is slow right now, but yellow says, Salami only to you, what is your plan? If they could convince yellow to fight with green and orange, that would be a big swing. Because yellow looks really well defended right now. How's purple doing? What's purple's eco count? Purple, 44 Vils. 44 eco pop. Everyone else is basically at 200 right now. Let's go, purple! I want so badly for Armitage to get a king snipe in this game. Unranked, probably never played a ranked game. About 1 population per minute in the game. Let's go, purple. Yellow says, I'm talking to red. He's friends for now, probably until the end. Orange says, okay, okay. Yellow says, you, me, and red can play it out, I think. I mean, saying probably until the end is honest, but that does not make it likely that orange will team with you. Right? Yeah, nobody's gotten the easy snipe. Purple pretty much is trapped in the middle. And no one's made a move. And no one's making a lot of military. This has been fairly campy. Very Cold War-esque. Everyone respects the other's power here. Vader says, I think this will be our team. No orange, no green. And now orange simultaneously is going to green and the others and saying, hey, here's our plan. And he's saying red wants to go green, yellow kind of on his team. Yeah. And green just says, oof. And Vader says, I'm talking to Cabbage and Valhalla. That's a good team. They don't really have anyone else bordering there, so that's a good team. And Orange says, when they go, I'm going to yellow. Because he's next to me. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Guys, there is one person that is not being involved in any of these discussions, and that would be Frost the Big Dog. They're literally all talking to every other player but Frost. And Frost was the guy who reached out wanting these alliances. Wood count down to 73,000 wood, by the way. No one really spending it. They're just hoarding all the trees. Yellow says orange might be helpful initially. Red says orange is a dirty liar. Yellow just says okay. Red says he is aligned with green for sure. I promise you he gives off that vibe. Okay. I mean, he would be correct. The vibe check is correct. Casual Salmon chat says Frost was so annoying that both teams assume the other is going to kill him. Well, honestly, it might be good for Frost not to be involved. Like, if he can Switzerland it and just kind of stay out and not choose sides as the rest of the world just dukes it out, it could actually be a pretty good strat. I don't think he wants that, though. I think he wants to be involved, but Red says, we're going to pretend we're friends with Orange, but not for long. Britons are hella annoying. Okay. And Yellow says, yeah, I told him you and me until the end. Red says, okay. They're building up towards something here. But what will that be? Chat, if you had to pick the first person to die, give me a name. I actually don't think it's Purple. Purple says, otherwise, unfortunately, I haven't been talking to Blue. I'm also messaging Blue with my messages, too. We got Frost, we got Blue, we got Orange, we got Avocado. Lots of different predictions from chat. Okay. Guys, I want to point something out. And yes. I think I can offend everyone with this statement. But the lowest elo players always have the best punctuation. And the higher elo players always are so crap with it. With, like, capitalization and punctuation. Like, Purple's at 45 pop. But look, otherwise, unfortunately, I hadn't been talking to Blue, period. And, like, he's got everything on lock with the messages. And then you look at Vader speak. It's a bit different, you know? Gray giving you BS or question mark. Blue, what are you up to? What should I do? Frost genuinely wants to be friends with Blue, but I think Blue is still pissed about that relic. And doesn't trust Blue. And now... Wow. Okay, Gray just got offered into the team. Oh my god. But hold on. He says to Def Vader, yes, I'll join your team. This is a dream come true. And then he says to us, Kami will die slowly. And now Def Vader says, hell yeah. Okay, so this is... Gray is not interested in the well-being of Def Vader. He does not like the color red, and he's sticking to it. And now Def Vader says to the team, Gray is needed to get a good attack on green. Yeah, they're going to try and use Gray to attack green. Green says, if he tries to do anything for us, I would be happy to have him. Oops, already messaged Gray too. They're all remembering Gray exists. And now Frost the big dog is still chatting to us. He says, our government might be a flawed one, but I have never had to put a wall up to keep my people in. Okay. Well, you did put a wall up to protect your king, but... All right, so Frost makes this interesting. Frost really hates Def Vader, who's top scorer, all right? He says, I will eradicate this communist when he expects it least. Okay, but here's my issue for you, Gray. Red's going to expect something. Red's not making a play until you start this war, it seems. He's going to respond to Red now. Like, when is all the wood gone? This is going to be a woodless map. There's only 29k wood left on the map. This has been very passive compared to all the other games. No one wants to be the bad guy. And believe me, when this starts, people are going to die left and right. There's not a lot of space to move around. Blue, would you like to join the team of me, Valhalla, Big Dog, and Pickled Cabbage? Now Blue's going to hear that and probably tell Green what he heard? And Gray's trying to get in. Yeah, all the players are hoarding res. Here's their res. Everyone is absolutely stacked with resources except for Purple and except for Blue. And you could argue except for Yellow, but Yellow bought a lot of castles. So Yellow is completely fine as far as I'm concerned, and Yellow has the most wood. Yellow says, Gray is friend too? Like, what is that? And now Vascaria says Gray is with us. So Gray has went from being completely forgotten to everyone thinking that they are teamed with him. That's so wild. For like 30 minutes, no one talked to him. Okay, Orange says, Yellow, I will just forgive you jailing my vills because I'm the bigger man. Oh. All right. Yellow says you can never be too careful. What villagers are we talking about? And were they trapped in here? Oh, these villagers. These two villagers. Okay. Pay attention for Gray, though. He hates my color. Gray can't see these messages. I just love how stupid it is. Guys, I guarantee that, like, majority of people who are playing in this game and are watching are adults, are legal adults. And then the pay attention for Gray, he hates my color. It's just such a stupid thing to fight over. But it's funny. Gray says strike their trade. That is honestly how you win, though. That's a fair call. That's how you win. You one person goes for 200, well, 199 Navy, and you control the trade, you win. Without trade, your economy will suffer. Oh, bless Purple's heart, man. Purple says, I'm a little on the bottom of the list, so they might focus on me first. Unless, of course, they prioritize me last. I love Purple. Purple's not even concerned about it. Just like, well, I'm a little on the bottom of the list. Down at 7,000 score. Second lowest is 16K score. Blue says to green, I stand confused. So many alliances, so many choices. And now Frost says to green, I have information that they will strike at me since red is bullying me. And now orange goes to red and says, Red, who's on your super duper badass team? I liked how he uses the word super duper. And, oh, red says you are on it. And orange says, I know. But who else? Bro. Are they ever going to fight? How much Diplo? I got to start. Normally, I have to encourage diplomacy. I think we have to discourage diplomacy now. It'll happen eventually. Yellow says ready to go whenever, only to red and teal. All right. Well, that's only 3 people. That could be bad. Red's going to mass galleons, which is the great play. Remember, Red's had a lot of trade, and you can see the gold count going down. It used to be 105. Gray has 137 gold workers, though. A lot of these trade cards are Grays. And then, yeah, everyone's just going to mass delete their eco. They've all got crazy economies. Again, except for Purple. Purple's got 50 eco and 9 of its idle. Bless Purple's heart. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of turtles. And I like turtles. Okay, it's going to happen, guys. Something is happening here. I'm not sure what exactly, but something is about to happen. Blue looks to be making a move for Gray. At least with where Blue is massing army, it looks like they might make a move on Big Dog. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you so much for the support. I know I've missed some subs, but this has been exciting so far, and the support's been awesome. I'm so happy to bring this back. And Grace says, hi, guys. What's the plan? Yeah, everybody wants to know what the plan is. Everybody wants to know what the plan is. The plan is Frost the Big Dog could go down. That's an attack round. That doesn't work. You cannot attack round with Trebs on people's buildings. You can with bombard cannons. I don't know why. But Gray was trying that. And Gray says, why is Blue attacking me? Uh-oh. Gray saw that. And now Blue turns. So finally, after all the alliance discussions, we have a battle. And I think if Blue turns on Gray, Green is going to turn on Gray. Frost the Big Dog says, Blue, what have I ever done? And now Purple says, yeah. Like, Purple's like, what's happening? I thought we were friends here. This would be a perfect time for Death Vader to make a move with his team. And, oh, Vascarius is defending Gray. Yes. He is going to fight back against Blue. Now Red says, that army I have is for Orange. Yellow's like, Orange? I thought we were friends. Red's like, we kill Orange. Now Gray says, Blues, please stop. I will pay you. And Gray is about to hop into a transport ship to sail away here. I think Blue might back off here. Blue does not want to be enemies to Vascarius. Blue should back off and apologize. He says, okay, I'll take gold and food. And now Salami's like, dude, I think the man is broke as hell. And Gray says, ally me and I will send everything I have. Green is now attacking Blue. Blue is fighting back. Oscarius tells Gray, do not pay. They're going to kill blue now. So they might take this as a sign that blue is teamed with teal and teamed with red, but that's not the case. I think Fiery Avocado has just goofed up. Red's going to make a play. Army counts are going to be massive here. Just massive because they're deleting eco. And Gray says, green, you need me in my res. I will put my king in your base. That is $25. Voscarius just says, okay, cool. I don't know about that. After 1,001 years of friendship, yellow and orange are going to be enemies now. And it's going to be 2 people on orange, of course, because we've got Death Vader ready to go. And yeah, you can tell they're mass deleting villagers so they can get army. But expect the trade numbers to plummet for the players that don't have navy. Green should keep Gray alive for a while. Green also came to Gray's aid. So, I mean, nice ally. But who's going to help orange right now? The next closest ally would be purple. And purple, I love you, but I don't know if your 4 siege rams are going to be enough against this. Frost had never declared war on Gray. We'll do so now and maybe fight back a little bit. Honestly, a pretty crazy army here from Fiery Avocado. Purple says, should I, like, stay out of it? Purple is really... Purple has no clue what to do. As all hell breaks loose. Yeah, purple just shouldn't move a muscle and just should probably stay out of it. There's no other option. We got some stables here from teal. We got some army from teal. So it's going to be 3 players on orange. And capture H. Please do not crash on me. Please do not. And now, like, this is a problem. Because blue is distracting green and is distracting gray. Orange will not receive support. Frost the big dog. Trying to talk them down. He says, guys, please stop. I did nothing. He might think the whole world is against him at this point. Orange does have a lot of longbows. He does also have a lot of halps, so could maybe hold on land. Is making some fire ships, so could potentially hold here as well. And now Voscarius is going to turn on Death Vader, as expected. And now he's helping on water, too. Purple has no clue what's happening. Purple says, are we just going to slap Gray down or question mark? Purple has no clue what to do. And Orange is going to ask for help. The yellow is saying get his production, like take down his docks, which is a good play here. Yeah, red needs to advance forward with that navy. But the biggest thing here is they are still just killing trade. And I think red's trade is still running flawlessly behind. So that will pay off long run. Unless Gray kills it. Gray has a navy over here. Remember, $25 per King Snipe. There's placements for the top 3. The player who is first goes into the final, where first place there is $250. You obviously get to play with a bunch of pros as well. This is kind of like a normal community game where we had a team of 4. It turned into a little bit of a 4v4. I guess there's some confusion with blue. Like, who is blue fighting for right now? I guess blue is fighting for red and for teal. Purple says, I'll see what I can do to help you on the land aspect. The sea, it looks like my navy would get cooked. Referring to orange, by the way. So purple is listening. Yellow is now turned on Voscarius just because he sees the navy. So that makes sense. And still curious on blue. I think blue is really focused right now and possibly regretting the decision to turn on gray. And it's probably going to be very tough for Fiery Avocado to respond to these messages in the midst of everything that's happening here. But that's really the best thing for blue right now is to like talk your way out of this and honestly just join their squad again. I think they would agree. Voscarius saying they're holding red, which they kind of are. I think galleons are going to be a problem though, but they kind of are. And orange just, who's fighting yellow, says, no, red, I won't ally you to attack yellow with you. He was my best friend before he betrayed me. And then he says, oh, whoops, wrong chat settings. That's a intentional oops. He's trying to act like red is getting, you know, talking behind yellow's back. And then yellow says, orange is trying to make me go against you, red XD. Yeah, dude, you made it too obvious, orange. You made it too obvious. So he thought, he saw through it immediately. Yeah, oversold it a little bit. And Gray says to red, you said I was your friend. I gotta keep checking red's castles. I really think that Gray's gonna sneak somehow. Gray's got a massive navy, though. But it's on the other side of the world right now. Everyone's still alive. Orange is struggling. I think we should be checking stockpiles. Yeah, orange does have 50k gold, which is the highest. But the wood count's not great. Poor purple is without hope. But we'll see if purple can recover with some trade. Gray says, tell blue to stop, please, red. He is messing me up. And, okay, Vader does it. I don't even think Vader knows why he's saying it. But he says, blue, please stop. Now, let's see if blue notices that. I think blue didn't know what he signed up for here. And the Navy, the water basically surrounding his island is a big problem for blue. Thank you, Cringe Moon, for the Prime. Sergeant Salty, Jinx, welcome back. Toby, Indivix, Frederick, thank you, guys. And Frost just used the 39 taunt to blue. Does anyone even know what taunt that is? I don't remember what that is. I'm sure some people in chat will know. But, yeah, blue has not responded. At all. I think blue is stressed right now. Where's the wood on the map? It's basically not even there. We've got 6k wood. It's going to be impossible to find. Oh, it's the ally noise. Like the doom doom doom. That one? Okay. Call is telling Cabbage to do something. Red, still talking to blue, thinking he was talking to his other teammates, says, I will not betray any of you guys. And by the way, Gray's Navy is making its way down here into the trade route. So blue's losing all the trade. Red could start to lose the trade soon as well. Orange's king is very close. Red says orange's cling, but he's not sending that to yellow because the chat settings are screwed up. This is a massive mess. And red says, Gray, are we still friends? I think he's worried about this Navy coming through. And Gray says yes, but make blue stop, please. Well, red tried before. It's kind of hard. I mean, blue just isn't seeing the messages. Oh, red says, blue, if you stop, I give you 5k gold. And hold on, green said, blue, never too late to join the better team. And blue says, all right, sure, why not? Gray says, blue, join, I'll kill you. I'm about to get your king, and blue just says, sure. So blue is going to join Gray's squad and green squad, I think. Which means they gain an extra player. And blue had to do that. That was the right play, because blue is dead otherwise. And red is not helping. Like, red and teal is not helping at all. They're all just fighting over here. And... okay, the king for orange is exposed big time. That's $25 right there. And the king... oh, the king is going to the front lines! Get him out of here! Get him out! The red is asking Gray for wood. Gray says, I only have 2,000 wood right now. I will give you half. He has 13,000 wood. That is a lie. But he doesn't know it's a lie. And Gray says, I'm sorry, I didn't make enough villagers. It's all I have, red. Okay, that's more to the lie. Orange's king is safe in this castle for now. The rams are moving in this way. That's a lot of rams. And that's tough for orange to stop right now. Gray changes his chat settings in a game this chaotic to continue the bit. Says, communist taking everything for himself, so corrupt. He hates red. He hates red. He will do anything he can to kill this guy, but he's not going to make that clear yet. He's still got that long-term plan. Holy trade cogs there from red. It's kind of a big deal, though, that gray is letting red trade. It's entertaining, but I think the worst thing for red would be if gray just turned right now. It's actually hurting green and orange and everyone that red is still getting that trade. But gray is playing the long-term game. Blue says, who are we fighting and killing then? Green obviously is going to give them the idea. Massive demos here from red. And Vascarius is telling them what the teams are. But yeah, guys, this is not looking good for Ney Salami here. And Pickled Cabbage turns on green for the first time. And now purple is going to turn. Purple's actually going to fight. Let's go. We got a fight from purple. Here to save the day with some hussars, baby. Turns on yellow. Turns on red. The winged hussars have arrived. Hey, hussars will be helpful here. Still no one's dead. Except for the trees. There's only, like, 4 trees left on the map. Treason was just researched. They're looking for kings. Gray is saving his king from green's base. I actually completely forgot that he ran to green's base. And Gray says, red, green is my king hostage. I can't do anything. I'm sorry. Yes. This guy is so full of it, bro. He's so full of it. Also, this kind of looks like this is where Gray's king would be, where it's not. He's bringing his king back. I mean, if red is researching treason a lot, he might be thinking he could kill gray then. Red says he'll send a transport. Man, I just find it so interesting that red and gray keep talking to each other. It's such an interesting little side story here. Otherwise, it would just be a 4v4. Oh, let's go purple. Let's go. Rams and Halbs. Or Wodes. And they're pushing back a little bit. Almost took the castle down. Red's Navy is a problem. Red's Navy is a big problem. Navy is the correct play, as we've said, to protect the trade, but also to damage on land. And purple says, oh man, a bunch of times. The king is on the move now for orange. It's in the TC. They need Navy numbers. They need galleon numbers. That's the way that you match this. Purple says they're ready to demolish us. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. Green was trying to mass fires before. Honestly, if green just massed galleons. If gray just massed galleons. I still think gray's got sneaky chances here. But I think orange is about to die. Who will get the money? Yellow will get the money. And orange, out of the game. Call of Valhalla's played very well. He did a lot of the work there on land. Of course, backed up by Pickled Cabbage and then Def Vader on water. And Vader says, kill Perp now. I mean, it's unfortunate for Purple. Because Purple didn't really do anything wrong. But unfortunately, Purple did choose the losing side. And Purple's going to have to escape now. Now, that's a $25 king. Gray is still offering help for red. The king is moving for purple. Who's going to get this money here? Vascarius is going to turn on yellow, which I guess he hadn't before, but I guess didn't really fight that much. Vascarius still massing the navy. And treason was just researched. Purple is escaping, but where? I don't know if this is an escape or if this is suicide. Because isn't yellow the enemy? Yellow's the enemy. Oh, there's a teal skirm! Yellow! Yellow just got a second snipe! $50 for yellow, dude. $50, and he could be in the King Sniper's final because of that. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Pause. I'm going to tell you what just happened. Purple thought it was Exploding Kings. That's the only thing that makes sense. Purple watches the YouTube videos. 99% of those games are Exploding Kings. And Purple thought, what can I do with my king? I can boom yellow. But it wasn't Exploding Kings. Oh, crap. Oh, Purple's a YouTube... Oh, I'm so sorry, Purple. Well, yellow kind of deserved it anyways. Yellow did a lot of work here. And, it's okay. Yeah, the king... the gunpowder got wet or something. Blue's going to turn on red now because red's coming in and the hustlers are getting flattened. Remember, blue was kind of on red's team before, was kind of not. Those rocket carts are crazy. And blue could hold for a little while. I just think green is dead next. You see what I mean, though? Like, red has benefited from gray trying to stay friends with him. Death Vader is actually stronger because they hadn't made a play on him. But gray still got this long-term plan, I think, to somehow do this. If I had to guess right now, I'd say maybe even a wonder. There's the resources now. Well played, Purple. And Purple says, oh man, I should have researched fortified walls. Oh, Purple, you're amazing. I love you. You're so cute, dude. Gray says, yellow, just to you. You got this game, bro. Let me kill red and you win. You need him gone. Use me. Ooh. This is a big moment because yellow could snitch. Gray says, ally back. Let's talk about it. I mean, Gray's not wrong. Red is a really good player. And red has been calling all the shots. So... okay, yellow says, I need him to kill green. And then he allies gray. Okay, so that's a fair call. They need to use red for now. Unfortunately, I think green's about to go down. Gray now goes to teal, the other ally of Death Vader, and says, Cabbage, I'll do your bidding, ally back. And Cabbage might also take the deal. And he does take the deal. Gray is cooking something up. Gray is cooking. I don't know if it's going to work. But he is gaining the trust of the people who surround red right now. And he says, I'll attack anyone you tell me. Now, this... it can be very easy to screw up the chat settings if you're teal or if you're yellow. And accidentally speak to gray. Or speak to red when you're trying to speak to ray. To red, sorry. Blue is... oh, man. Blue's being attacked by yellow and by red. Not receiving... like, green and blue probably kind of hate gray right now because they're not receiving any help. And gray goes to red and says, Red, we are enemy? Question mark? Like, we're fighting each other? What? Because all his stuff is going down. I think gray needs to let his units die. Oh, or fight back. Interesting. I think Death Vader's going to struggle to win this game. If everyone turns on him. Death Vader goes back and says sorry. And gray says ally back. Obviously, red's very busy, and red says I did, and he did. No, he didn't. Now he did. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So blue needs to go, and green needs to go. And then we get to find out what happens here, right? Is there anything green and blue can do here? I think they're kind of screwed. Any ideas from chat? Blue has been screwed ever since he made a move on gray, and no one was really teamed with him. Like, there was no support from Pickled Cabbage there, and then he got surrounded. Gray says, Green, I'm sorry, you were a great ally. I wish I could have done more for you, Green, but alas, there is no hope. Farewell, my friend. And things you would not say in actual Exploding Kings, but I think he just realizes that Green is going to die. And Green is going to die eventually, but he is not dead yet. His king is actually in a tower behind the castle. Teal is asking blue if they're good. I mean, blue's not good, but I think you're friends. And gray says, sorry, I enemy with green. To me, it really feels as though red is struggling to keep up. I mean, he's playing so well, and there's so much chat because he's fighting and the other people are chatting. He's kind of struggling to keep up with it all right now. Oh, here's most of the wood left on the map right here. That's 1,600 wood of the available 3K. Frost says, teal, yellow, what do I do? I'll do anything you tell me. Well, wait. Now green is attacking gray. Gray, you shouldn't have said anything to Green. You should have just let him die. You really shouldn't have said farewell and all that. And sorry. Because now he's going to attack you. Oh, God, Gray, what have you done? What have you done, bro? You shouldn't have said anything. I mean, I don't know if the Ratha can do it. I'm assuming Gray got murder holes. So the Ratha shouldn't be able to get the kill. Blue says GG, and I missed the king getting sniped. And we're going to act like I didn't miss that. And we're going to go back, and we're going to show it. It was in the tower, and red had camel archers and dead king. Red finally gets one. Red could have been credited for some of the other snipes as well. So red finally gets one. It was what he was known for from the previous Regicide Rumble. There are cannon galleons from Vascarius. He was very loyal towards Gray. He knows he's going to die. Gray's navy is over here. Gray, do not forget about your king. Do not let this be the end of your story. Oh my God, he's just completely forgotten about this. He's got all this navy over here. He's thinking about, like, the future once Green is dead. Maybe he even thinks Green is dead. But the cannon galleons are taking down his castle. The Ratha are waiting. Gray's dead. No! No, Gray's running! Gray actually has a chance! He actually has a chance. He can get inside the tower. Oh my God. And he makes some fires in a panic. The king is on the move. He's running. Red is around. Red is looking for that. And he's in the tower. Oh, man. Oh, Vascarius will be so disappointed in himself. It was so close, but he just was running back and forth, and he went to the left a little too far. This tower is still not very safe. Gray's going to need some army. You can tell all his navy's coming back in a panic. And he needs Green to die. And by the way, yellow could get the third snipe here, guys. That would guarantee yellow goes to the King Sniper's final. If he gets a third, I'm pretty sure. And Green says, okay, this is tragic. Yeah, it's very tragic. And purple says, indeed. Purple's still in the game. Dead, but still in the game. It's going to be everyone who was on the northern team except Gray, guys. I guess blue, I don't know if blue is on the team or not. Oh, wait. Cabbage is here. Cabbage is here. Cabbage has ranged units. The king's right there. The king's right there. It's right there. Oh, Cabbage gets it. 25 bucks for Cabbage. Ooh, okay. Gray. Oh my God. Gray was also just being attacked by red and he escapes again. He escapes again. And now Gray says, get red, guys. Because he knows he's going to die to him. Man, how is Frost the Big Dog alive? He's escaped twice. He says he's killing me. I don't know, dude. Like, it's such an easy kill for these guys to just move on to you. And then red just says, let's kill Gray. Now, if Gray can get into a transport ship, he does have a navy, and they don't have a navy around. So that's the safest move. He's got, like, mainly navy. He doesn't have anything else. Yellow's rams are still moving this way. I think they might as well go for Gray. You get rid of Gray, and then you and Teal fight 2v1 versus red, probably. Yep. Teal turns on Gray, and then also yellow turns on Gray. So everyone's against Gray. And by the way, there's payouts for top 3. So once Gray's out, everyone's guaranteed top 3. Gray says, you all need me. This is foolish. And nah, bro, I don't think they need you. I really don't think they need you. Not gonna lie. But let's see. Let's see. The escape can happen. He gets into the transport ship. And if he survives long enough, they might fight amongst themselves. We see that all the time. Red says nobody needs you. Yikes. But, well, you know, that's a good clickbait YouTube title, and that's a little harsh. Realistically, they have all accomplished this without Gray's help. And then Gray says, bro, you're so toxic. Okay, I see. I don't think JFK would have said that. But maybe he did. Can anyone look that up? Do you ever see JFK say, bro, you're toxic? I mean, red is to be careful with the big fighting words because red is the king of the game and they're going to want to take him down. And red says, you hated me from the start. And he says, guys, I need gold. Let's actually check the stockpile. He does not really need gold. He's got 5k. Yellow says, same lol. I am spending, yeah. But, like, they need to kill Gray. And Gray, move into the water. Move into the water. Move into the water. Big dog, move away. Move far away. Oh, my God. Oh, okay, well, he's baiting them, and he's going to kill all the army. And the transport's actually going to be fine. Transport ships don't die that quickly. And they know the king's on water. And they've got all this stuff on land now. So someone's going to have to make a navy again. Which would be a giant pain in the ass. Oh, red. Red is being attacked by gray! The big dog did it! The big dog did it! And he completely breaks character. He calls red a brat. He drops the LMFAO and says, get wrecked. Oh, man. Oh, man. We're going to have to replay that. Big dog waited this whole game for an opportunity. And he kills Death Vader. Oh, my God. That was something else, man. And he had to stay safe from this entire attack. Red just said, nobody needs you. Damn. Words maybe got a little aggressive there. I think things got a little... Tensions got a little high. I think we can... You know, we don't need to be need to be name calling all that much. And maybe that's a bit much. But sheesh! What happens now? I did not expect that. So Gray's got a snipe. Yellow's got 2 snipes. Gray has resources. I mean, they all have some res. Gray is worse off when it comes to that, though. And I would say that Valhalla and Pickled Cabbage, once the dust settles, probably might want to get rid of this guy. Because they've been teamed together for so long. Let's, there's not really anything happening. I'm going to go back and watch that now instead of later. So he obviously, he rolled into town, or did he transport? Okay, so he had a transport. He transports from this castle. He'll make it through. Crazy that Red's actually attacking the dock that produces the transport. This is when Red is asking for golds. And it was with Cataphracts and Trebs, right? That's not very easy. And yeah, Gray was actually chatting in this moment. And this is also when the Arbs come in to snipe him. So it's all happening at the same time. And yeah, I mean, we'll just rewatch it real quick. But it didn't seem to me like Red actually realized. He's looking for this king. He's probably producing a navy right now. But yeah, Gray sends it, guys. And King was in the castle. Maybe it could have been in the tower. And this is as this king is being attacked for Gray. He had to save himself. Imagine his heartbeat in this moment. No army here from Red. The king ejects. Oh, man. And Vader's going to be disappointed. Because if that ejects into another castle, he's probably fine. It doesn't eject into another castle, and it gets killed. And so, anyways, happy to replay that. Gray, like, high on life and freaking out, obviously, with all the chatter there. But let's simmer down a little bit. Let's not be name-calling everybody. We're back now to live time, so which is a couple minutes after that. And now Yellow says, Teal... And this was my prediction, that they're going to work together to kill off Gray first, as Gray is rebuilding a town center. He says, we kill Gray, then play out, question mark. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. Right, chat? Gray hasn't been part of your squad the whole game. I mean, he's like, sort of, kind of been buddies for the last 30 minutes, but... Yellow's impressed. He says, good job, Gray. XD. All right. He's like, well done, dude. Well done. Gray says, thank you. Now, Gray's not going to stop there. Gray's going to try and chat them up still. He says, so you will fight Teal now, or question mark? Yeah, guy, people want to see the top players go down. Red was maybe a little aggressive here there. Red had a great game. Red had a great game. Red probably killed more than anybody. It's a shame that red only killed one king. Let's look at the total stats. Red had a beastly game. He was absolutely the guy that needed to be taken out. It is funny, though, how Gray was the one to do it, because Gray just basically said, I don't like his color. But that was intense. Tensions were so freaking high there. My goodness. No response, by the way, to Gray. He says, so you will fight teal now or question mark? No response. And yellow just researched treason, I think, looking for Gray's king. And we'll know what's on water. This sucks, but you've got to delete... You have to delete your land units and just to make a navy, which is so expensive. And then you're exposed on land, too. So it's just not a comfortable feeling to have to do that, but you do really just have to do it. There's no way around it. Oh, here comes more land army. If you need to get more population available on water, this is the best way to do it, I guess. So you just fight. You'll at least kill some things. And then you have the population space for a navy. Saracens actually have fantastic navy, and I think I heard some docks. Yeah, he's producing galleons down here now. And yellow says, I'm going on water. And teal will probably say same. How can Gray survive this? Because he has no land to retreat back to. So he has to defend on water against two people. And he doesn't have the trade that they have. It should be impossible for Gray. It should be. If Gray wins this game, it will be it's more impressive than anyone we've seen. We've had some impressive wins so far in Regicide Rumble. You don't have teammates. You don't have lands. You'd have to go kill their trade, but even then, it's still two people with more resources than you. Thank you again, chat. I'm glad you guys are having fun. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. This is an idea I had like 7 years ago when we did the first one. And it, I mean, it's crazy to be here with so many people watching. It was very different back then, 7 or 8 years ago. And we've had legends born. I mean, Blue Coffee originated from Regicide Rumble, the whole just passing thing. It's the first time we ever heard that, and so thank you guys. Gray says, 2v1 at this level is silly, guys. And Yellow says, it's for the money, XD. Let's go! And then Frost says, why not guarantee first? Ally me. I clearly won't win, and you get second. Oh, he screwed that one up, and then he says, he meant to say I get second. I mean, this is what Frost has to try. He has to be annoying to kill, and he has to make it seem easier if they use him instead of kill him. But, like, Yellow and Teal are going to look at these setups that the other has and think there's no way that's easier than getting to this guy. Nothing's easy here, but... I just... Like, think about if Gray doesn't get that snipe on red. So, because I know people are a big fan of Gray, and I am too. But think about this. He didn't back up Vascarius in any fights. Really. He didn't back up... I mean, I guess Blue fought him. He was just been on his own team the whole game. And that's fine. But if not for that snipe, we'd be thinking maybe he needed to work better with his allies. Let's see. He definitely knows when to choose his allies. It's when he really needs them. Let's see if he can talk his way into this. He says, Teal, you get first. 100% just ally me. I'll even give my honor that you win first. And then he says, let's just get Yellow. And he says that publicly. He said that publicly. Ah! Well, maybe Yellow thinks... When Yellow sees that, maybe it's a strategy. And then maybe Yellow thinks that Teal's been awfully quiet and Teal will actually attack him. But I don't know what happened there. That was an oops. Yellow researching treason, and he's just going to be like, oh my freaking god, he's still on the water. That's so stupid. Researches treason again. Now, he might be researching treason. Oh my god, there's a monk from Teal that's been clicked onto that? Do you see that? How? He must have caught a glimpse of it. There's a monk coming from somewhere to convert that. Oh, yellow's coming in to kill it. Yellow's coming in with a navy to kill it. That is a pretty big navy. Ooh, and teal's got a navy from the south. Oh, gray, this might be the end. This might be the end. Converting the transport would not kill the king, actually. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Gray is microing his heart out, hoping to get the best engagements, but there's another navy coming, Gray, and this will be the end for you. It has to be the end, right? Oh my god, that monk is there. I wonder if the monk can stay targeted and the transport will come back this way. Grace is kind of sad. Yeah, he's trying to get them to change their minds. They should not change their minds. I so badly want that monk to convert the transport. It won't happen, though. Gray actually won this fight. He won this fight. Land units can actually walk onto this terrain. Transport's still on the move. Teal's still coming from this direction. Gray sees that. They're kind of making the mistake of trying to just kill the transport. They really just need to kill the navy at this point because they're tossing units away. But it's understandable that they just want to be rid of this guy. And then they're just like, oh, man, not again. I got to make more boats, and it's just frustrating. Yeah, like trying to snipe here. Unfortunately, Gray's just not going to let that happen. He would have been better off just fighting his boats. He did hit the transport, though. Got one shot. You could go heavy demo, but what I would think is better is just going for navy. Just full galleons is fine. Does Gray have docks, by the way? I think Gray's maybe missing pop space or something. Because he must be missing pop space. He can't produce. Gray drops C11. Oh, and here's the houses. Is that his last bill? Pop space, baby. Pop space, let's go. Oh, he's gonna dock here. He's back in the Dark Age. He's got a pig and a villager. And a boar. Look at all these random armies coming in. He just lost his town center and he's just losing his market. He doesn't have a whole lot else. Guys, if Teal snipes this, Teal could be in the King Snipe final. King Snipe final. King Snipe final. King Snipe final. No way. That's $25 right there. Oh, there's a skirmisher in a... Oh my god, that's so weak. Dude, Gray, repair the... Oh, Frost the big dog. Repairing the transport. Repairing the damage. Every little bit of HP matters. Gray's a TC at the middle. True, but he probably can't produce out of it if he doesn't have pop space. Teal's going to remember that that is weak and think that it's snipeable now. How can Teal see that? Does Teal... Oh my god, Teal has spies. Oh, Teal has spies. That explains so much. That's 30k gold to get, but yeah, Teal got spies super early, I guess. Because you wouldn't have seen that now. I mean, Gray's just holding on. Maybe Teal or Yellow will build up an army and try and kill the other. Like, maybe. I just don't see it. Anaspa come in. They'll destroy the houses. Could Gray get more vills in that time? No. Yellow researches treason again. We've got a navy massing. We've got a navy massing. Gray will die. Gray will die. I think there's another tactic you can try here. Instead of trying to convince them to team with you with logic, now you need to go with a little bit of deceit. And now is where you can say, like, okay, I have his Manaspa are here. Try now. That's what I would try and say, because then Yellow's like, wait a second, is Teal going to snipe me? And then he gets really paranoid, and it can get into their brains. But I really don't think these players are going to be... I don't think they're going to change their minds. The only way Gray holds on for second is through mind games. And the Mamelukes! The Mamelukes! Oh, Gray is baiting him so hard again. Look at that. He knows what he's doing. Yellow already has 2 King Snipes. If he gets a third, he is at the very least in the King Snipe final, unless he wins, because you can't be in both. Okay, unit is out of the transport now. King is on the move. There were Manaspa somewhere. Now they've got to come over here. There could be Hussars. Gray goes into the gate, out of the gate. And there's the monk from Teal. You cannot convert kings, though. Okay, Gray's running. The last stand for Gray. Mameluke is on the way. Mameluke is on the way. There's also a galleon. Can Cabbage get it? And Yellow knows what's going to happen. Gray is dead. That's 2 snipes for Yellow and 2 snipes for Teal. So they're fighting for the final now. An immediate wonder from Yellow. That's a great call because he's got amazing fortification and he did it right when they were focused on Gray. You could try and wonder yourself if you're Teal. Ah! Okay, do these civs get treadmill crane? Somebody tell me. I have no clue. Guys, get all your vills building this thing. All right? Find them wherever they are. Yellow's got 28, but some of them are bugged. I think Saracens do get treadmill crane, and Teal has at least 1 or 2 more villagers building. Bro, get her to work, man. Get her to work. Get everybody to work. Create villagers. Delete military. How many vills? Okay, there's 31 now that are going to be building the wonder. Here we've got 30. Yellow will win it. Unless there's a treadmill crane difference, I don't know the situation there. Teal is producing more vills. Yellow's not. And 2 of Yellow's vills aren't building. But they will now. Oh, God, don't produce army. Produce villagers. Now, they don't actually have this on screen. I think it's a shame, by the way. This countdown that shows, or the count up, only shows with capture age. It doesn't show in-game. So they are just... You can click the HP on the enemy wonder, and you can try and check. But you can't actually check it in-game. It does feel like Teal is catching up ever so slightly. Oh, God. Even the time the villagers have to walk around the wonder is hurting my soul. I think Yellow found more vills. Yellow's got this. It's like it's somewhat of a steady 10% difference. Yeah, Yellow will get this. And Yellow realistically should be a little bit rewarded for having the idea. They're going to have to fight this out, though. I mean, they've got resources to spend. And Pickled Cabbage has way more res, guys. Look at that. Can someone remind me, please? I know we brought Pickled Cabbage in, just like we did Death Vader, but I forget the specifics of the situation. If I'm remembering correctly, he sniped 3 players in his game in Regicide Rumble 5. And he won his game? Something like that? Yellow's Wonder completes. There it is. Death Vader in chat says Gray and I can never be friends. I don't know. Just wait till Regicide Rumble number 7. If you guys are available, we might put you in the same room together again. Yeah, Wonder completes. Very close for Teal. Okay, so in 340 years, Yellow wins. But Saracens versus Georgians. Not too bad for Saracens. By my estimation, if Teal deletes those vills and makes trebs with Mamelukes, it will be tough, but the castles could start to fall, and the wonder's not that far beyond. I would have my money on Teal with Teal's resources, but they're 1,200 elo or 1,300 elo. Like, this is a pretty tough task to ask of anyone to break down this many castles under this much pressure. Is still a little bit of trade running, by the way. So they're getting what's left of the trade before the trade gets sniped by navies, but they'll both have navies. And they're both going to have army. 156 army versus 70 right now, by the way. And Teal is actually going to wall from this side. Interesting. Okay. Obviously, you can just kill the king as well. The king is right next to the wonder, so... Mamelukes and Trebs, though. What can Georgians do against Mamelukes and Trebs? Any thoughts? Siege onagers could be good. Towers, yeah, maybe towers and castles, I guess. Is Teal just gonna yeet these Mamelukes to the Wonder right now? Teal... Is Teal going for the king? Can you imagine? He can see everything, remember. And there's only one little flag on the tower. Bro! Bro! Okay, well, he's going for the ships. Teal, just calm down, buddy. Calm down. Back up. Back up. Back up. Oh, God. Whatever this is not it. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, go back. Yellow's smart to fill this river with ships. Well, it would have been epic. It would have been epic, but, yeah, the castles and the navy simply too strong there. That was, oh, God. That was rough. We're just going to edit that out for YouTube. YouTube won't see that because that would bring people a lot of pain. We can't have that. Okay. Pickled Cabbage is what we call relatable gamer. Likes to make mistakes so people cheer for him. Gray. He loves the chat. Says, silly Teal. Now he dies. GG's to chat and GG to T90. Very fun game. Tried to Diplo, but just got wrecked. And then he says, very happy I got rid of that commie red. Good game all. It seems in the end, Vader, you weren't needed either. ... Mic drop. Mic drop moment after he's been dead for 20 minutes. Classic. But, you know, mic drop. And he likes to chat, so he's going to continue to chat, I'm sure. But let's see if more Mameluke production can be spammed here from Teal. Let's see if he can get it together. Because you're not... Yellow doesn't have to push. Yellow just has to defend. I really like that Yellow has the... I like that he has the navy stacked there. But this is what I wanted. I wanted full Mamelukes with Trebs. I wanted more trebuchets than this. You're not going to have a lot of attempts here to learn here, Cabbage, so... But guys, if this line of castles get Treb down, the Mamelukes can eat the navy, and then the Wonder's right behind it, and the king too. I actually think it is doable if it was a bit higher elo, maybe. It's been a long game. There's nothing I can suggest to Yellow to kill these Mamelukes, except for a couple siege onagers. And Teal is really spamming here. Just Mamelukes are in queue. I'm just not really seeing a lot of Trebs. Yellow's main strategy seems to be navy. Now, I'm going to give a hint here. Def Vader would have lived with this hint, and other players should be doing this as well. So, guys, if you have a king somewhere, you set your rally point from that building to another building. So if they take that building down, it immediately hops into another castle or whatever it may be. Obviously, Def Vader would have survived then because the king would have gone into the castle. Vader says I did the rally point thing. Maybe it was a misclick then, Vader, because it looked like it went right next to the castle. Kind of looked like you tried. Also could have changed, maybe. So that's unfortunate. Still only 2 Trebs. If there's Trebs in production for you, Pickled Cabbage, you need to toss your units away. And here we go. That's fine. Loses one of the Trebs. It doesn't matter if it's pretty. It just matters if you can get the job done. Hussars in against the Navy now. Mamelukes need to protect those Trebs. And there they are. But it's just 1 Treb. We need more. Yellow with the Navy here too. We'll kill some of Teal's Vills. And that's enough Manaspa to snipe the Treb and Yellow holding the line. You need like 20 Trebs, honestly. People learn in the game. Like, look at how many Trebs he has in queue now. But he needs to lose more units until they come out. That's the problem. It's a weird spot. I've seen it a lot. Oh, man. Also, there are Teal units inside. Teal units and Yellow units inside of Red's castle. How did that happen? Teal's got 10 pop space in there. But he needs Trebs. He needs more than 1 Treb. He's actually out of wood now. But who cares? Like, you kill the king, you kill the wonder, or you don't here. Actually, at this point, yeah, killing the king might be a little bit easier. T90, could you try Cannon Galleon from the back to take out the wonder? I think I wouldn't do that if the opponent already had so much navy. I really like the lands decision here. I just need to see Trebs actually producing. Oh, God, that makes me so sad. Like, they're all just, like, randomly in the queue. There is some navy production from Teal. It's just so tough because there's 167 army. Okay, this looks bad. This is good. Teal needs Trebs. So just yeet everything. There's a king in there. There's a king in there. Oh, no, the king's in the castle now. King's in the castle now. Can you get the wonder? Not the monastery. Can you get the wonder? All right. T90 fine emote. He misclicked the university. It's all right. T90 fine emote in chat. This is fine. This looks bad. But Teal needed Trebs. And now the Trebs are actually going to produce because there's more pop space. So, oh God, protect your Treb. Protect your Treb. Protect your Treb. Oh my, protect your, oh my, please, no. Oh my God. It's all right. There's more Trebs on the way. This is fine. There's more Trebs on the way. He was distracted by this. 6-year difference on the wonder. And the Mamelukes are eating the ships. You just need the Trebs on the castles. That's the key. Trebs on the castles. I would even ignore this. Screw this. Mass up your units here, Teal. Get your head together here. And do not trickle Treb. Okay, there's going to be a lot of wood rolling forward now. Yeah. Let's go. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. It was good. He intentionally lost those units, guys, to get more Trebs, I promise. I'm sure it wasn't a mistake, or I'm sure it wasn't nerves. It was on purpose. And now he's learned. It's happened a couple times now, so he knows to protect. This is actually a really tough thing, though. The Navy here is a problem because it is close to where the Trebs would have to deploy. Just the ELO, the ELO we're at, like, so tricky to break this many fortifications. I know there's some people who are 11 or 1200 or 1300, and they're going to say, well, I could do that. Yeah, well, you might have been sniped an hour ago, for all you know. It's tough. There's a lot of stuff going on now. He banked up a lot of res. Just have some faith, okay? Have some faith that this could work out. Because they're about the same rank. So if Teal could make some slip-ups here or there, Yellow could make some slip-ups. And Yellow's Navy is going to start to go down here. Maybe should be a little bit further back in theory. So the Mamelukes can't get the kills. Okay, here are the Trebs. And Cannon Galleons will look for those Trebs, though. That is an issue. Yeah, maybe you do need Navy. I didn't think about Navy from this area. I was just thinking about Navy from here. It probably feels so helpless for Teal because he can't get in close enough to the boats. And now the Trebs, 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 now the Trebs. But now the Cannon Galleons. This is why you make 20 Trebs, so you can lose 10 of them. All right. Yellow's losing boats. Yellow's losing Mamelukes. There's more Trebs here. Okay. There's a lot of army from Teal. A lot of it. But he's like, he still hasn't made any progress. Oh, man. Those castles are still there. There actually is a chance that you could sneakily transport back here. You'd have to get it perfect. No, not if there's Yellow Navy there. Nope. All right, Teal, try and maybe like reposition your push away from the water. That's so tough. It's so tough because like this little bit of water here makes it so horrible. Castle down though? Castle down? Chat, I want to hear you say progress here. Gray is backseating from the grave right now. Big Dog has ideas. Okay. Progress. Progress has been made. One castle's down. One castle's down. More Trebs are needed. More Trebs. Another castle could go down. Oh, I like this, Gray. He says, everyone should use their Twitch Prime if you want to get in, because this is my first time with the sub linked. I got in, and it's free. Yeah, Gray, I'm a big fan. Not that I wasn't before. Big fan. There's no guarantees you get in, by the way. But if you subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. Patrol here, Teal. Patrol, patrol, patrol. Good, 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 good. Castle's about to go down again. Just let your units do the fighting here. Don't click too much. Just let them fight. Let them cook. I mean, once this castle's down, then the next castle could go down, and then you can move away from this bubble of water, which has been such an issue. But it's still 95 years. He might need to go for the king again. Yellow, it might be your plan to bait him in, but I really don't like the king in the tower. I would just keep it in the castle. The winner here will be in the final amongst pros. And all the other community game winners we've had. The loser might be seen again in the King Snipe final, fully depending on how many snipes happen. I'm not seeing any more trebs rolling forward. There is a small navy. There is a trade cog. It feels like too little too late for Teal. Completely out of res, both of them, pretty much. I'm sure they're going to spend what they can. The Mamelukes and the Trebs here are Teal's last hope. And he is killing off Yellow's navy. He did take down a castle. Okay. Does Yellow have anything in queue, or is he also drained of res? He's got some units coming. He's spamming light cav. But, I mean, that's fine for a distraction. Teal's got to move so far now. It's going to be so tough. All right, that little galleon's there. Helpful against the cannon galleon. Cannon galleon will not snipe a Treb. Manaspa and light cav coming in. And at least one Treb goes down. Maybe two. Yellow probably has enough to take two. That's all he needs, is just to stall here. But there's a $50 difference between Yellow thinking to build that wonder in that perfect moment and doing it because the other guy did it, you know? This was always going to be... I was kind of worried about using this map. We added more wood to it, but I knew the res would run dry. And then the games can get rather campy. It was always going to be that type of game eventually. So it can happen when times are tough like that. And Yellow still holding. I guess you're kind of at a spot where you have to yeet yourself for the king again. You have to. You've no other choice. You're not going to get the... Actually, you could go for the wonder. Yeah, just yeet for the wonder. Mamelukes destroy the building. The wonder is right there. The wonder's not going to move. I think he feels like that's impossible. And still trying to make progress. Maybe that'll be like a last-ditch effort from him. Has his navy down here protecting now. Still protecting these Trebs. Trebs stay up. 35 years. More Mamelukes on the way. Not many of them, but a couple. And how many Mamelukes can actually make it through this? Not many. Fine, we'll take down another castle. Yo, D-Slats, thank you. He says, is it possible to figure out when I started following your channel? I can't remember what year it was. I think mods can. So if you chat D-Slats, someone can click and it can say how long you've been following. I don't know if that's super public. Frost, settle down, bro. Settle down. You're going a little too far, all right? I don't need this to be an actual beef between you two. Just stop. Everyone else who's dead has stopped, okay? You're talking yourself out of having more fans, trust me. You are actually being toxic right now. And Yellow says, I think that's GG. We got 12 years left. And Teal says, yeah, GG, and this is going to be Yellow. in the finals, potentially we see Pickled Cabbage back. He just couldn't do it. He couldn't finish it off. And these two fought alongside Def Vader, who was eventually sniped. And keep in mind, there's also like a 3-minute delay, so Gray didn't hear my response to him yet. I appreciate the offer, but I think I'm gonna have to let that one slide. I don't want to be sniped at my wedding, Gray, with some cataphracts. Teal runs in, and GG. What a game! What a game! So there were two snipes that were left uncalled there. Yellow and Teal obviously surviving till the very end, but whew, that was crazy. We had some intensity in that one. We had some intensity, right? We had some storylines. Clear that emotions can run quite high in these community games, but very solid performance from the final two and from Yellow. Now, Yellow didn't really grab a lot of the storylines, but look at how many kills Yellow got. Crazy amount of kills. I mean, he wiped up land. Pickled Cabbage was there in support at times, but it was Def Vader on water. It was Call of Valhalla on land. And, yeah, I mean, he raised more buildings than anyone. He killed more units than anyone. And he also had a very solid economy. I noticed very early on that Def Vader and Call of Valhalla were going crazy with the trade. Other people were as well, I suppose, with Pickled Cabbage and Frost the Big Dog. But I think they made good calls. Like Teal and Yellow both worked with Gray when it benefited them. But they also said, we've got to get rid of this guy, which was the right call, right, chat? It was absolutely right to not work with Gray. Gray was only in it for himself at that point. Gray needed them. Gray did not, and they did not necessarily need Gray. And then, of course, the biggest thing at the very end was that Yellow started building this wonder right when Gray was about to die. And that was kind of what separated these two. Like, I think there was no way that Yellow pushes Teal, and there's no way that Teal could push Yellow. It was a really tough task to actually finish with that many castles and builds up. So, GG, well played. So what was that? That would be Call of Valhalla, $100 for first place, goes to the final. Also got the 2 King Snipes, so $150. It was $50 for second for Pickled Cabbage. He also got 2 King Snipes, so he gets $100. Maybe we see him again in the King Snipe final. And then third place would have been Frost the Big Dog, who also got the additional $25 from sniping red. So I guess it's a total of $50 for him. We had Def Vader with the 25 for his King Snipe. And yeah, that was actually it as far as payouts for that one. So we had some people missing out. But thank you, everyone, for playing. Now is an interesting point where we get to vote on people's favorites, okay? So we get to vote on people's favorites. There's an extra $25 to give out. Who does chat want to award an extra $25 to here? Let's see. We had a lot of competition. A lot of great players out there. You guys can now vote for your favorite. You have to type their number for their color. Curious to see what chat has to say on this. And I kind of expected this. Purple, you might have struggled a little bit economically compared to the rest. But you know what? You're not going to struggle financially, it seems. Because you, my friend, are probably going to earn $25. Purple got very overwhelmed in the middle of that game. Gray's getting some votes as well. Vader getting some votes. But yeah, I felt like it was really funny when Purple was like, guys, what do I do here? He didn't really know what to do. All right, we got 30 seconds till this concludes. Then we can look at the memes. I thought it was a great game. I think things got a little too intense, maybe. I think maybe the rivalry between Red and Gray got a little too real. I think we could all agree on that. So feelings were very intense. However, the rivalry was fun. And I appreciated the fact that Gray had the storylines at the start, how he, chose the players mainly based on color. Red was annoyed by it, which made it interesting. So it all kind of fell together pretty nicely there. So, all right. So 57% go through to Purple. Purple, obviously, congratulations. And thanks for playing. Honestly, of all the games we did for the community games, This was actually the toughest map to play too. There's a lot of water elements. It was not your standard game, so I hope everyone who played realizes that it was a really tough task. Okay. Oh my freaking god. Oh my freaking god. I think whoever made the graph, I'm just going to say this. I'm going to give you an opportunity. You probably made this before the conclusion of the game. In the event that you did, as I look at these memes, you could maybe possibly change it. That's all I'm going to say. These memes are actually going to be great. Let me look at these. Thank you to all the memers out there. Here. I mean, there's avocado. Oh, I see. I forgot about the fiery avocados. I was really struggling to see the meme here. This took me a second. I don't know. I don't think I'm bright enough to really laugh at this meme. But there's blue avocado. There's cabbage that's pickled. And there's no salami. Okay, we move on. Next meme. Next meme. Next meme. Next meme. This was early. Dude, Big Dog, if you didn't say something to Green, if Green didn't snitch, you're in the King Snipe final. You shouldn't have told Green because Green snitched. Orange would have been out of the game, and if Orange is out of the game, it's a completely different game because the North would have died so much faster. So Orange got very lucky. He delayed his death. So you have to remember when people submitted these memes, okay? At the time this meme was made, I don't think there was any hope for Gray whatsoever. No one thought Gray had any chance. In the end, Gray ended up, doing some good things, but no one was talking to him or had any interest in any of it for a while there. So that's a good meme. I like that. Okay, next one. Frost the Big Dog, deciding to cosplay as JFK and diploing too hard. Frost the Big Dog, not hearing from any allies before their trip down south. Bro, he chatted to everybody, and no one had any freaking interest in responding to him. It was so funny. The best thing that Frost the Big Dog did was just not talk to anyone for 20, 30 minutes, and then they became interested. A little dark, but okay. All right, next one. Okay, Gray, you need to stop. I'm really not liking it. All of this chat. I don't want to kill you. Gray just says sorry. I mean, I kind of felt bad for Gray there because Gray is trying to diplo, which is part of the game. But I also understand Red because it felt like Gray didn't read the room, right? Some games, people might be way into it, but clearly no one was. So I can kind of see both sides of that situation. I imagine this is only going to get better. Oh, this is my favorite one. But I can tell when this was made. Okay, so here we have super official game stats. Let's zoom in. Okay. Purplesville count, rising. Nice. Frost the Big Dog's popularity. Started popular. Then people got really annoyed with him. Then he got the snipe, was very good. Now, I would argue that Dog maybe went a little bit too far at the end. So we need a new graph. We need a drop-off for Gray at the end. That would be my guess. Okay, Red's houses on Orange's territory. Goes up, then goes down. Trees on map. Starts at the top, goes down. Chat mishaps. True, chat, there were some mistakes. I'm not sure if they're talking about Twitch chat or in-game chat. Probably in-game chat. T90 paying attention to Orange's King. That's true, because I really did zoom in on that king for a while, and then I didn't look at it much more anymore. And then Active Wars. Bro, this is the best one. Active Wars just being completely at the bottom is hilarious. It's obviously not accurate. There were some big battles eventually, but you can tell when this was made. I wonder if there will be an updated one. That's so good. Guys, we need this. This should be a format. Who made this meme? This needs to happen for all games. This was submitted before the wars. Ah, and it says 115. Ah, true. Damn, this is good. Red Prince said he did. I don't know if you actually did. Well played. Okay. That's fun. Every game should have that. That's better than the in-game stats, where it says there's like 3 battles at random spots. That doesn't make any sense. All right. That's good. I like it. I like that a lot. Well played. It's a little bit different than the graph. I don't think I've ever seen this meme format before, too, which is very nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. All right. Next one. Frost role-playing as JFK. Frosty role-playing as JFK. Who did this to me? Yeah. I mean, Frosty, you weren't too far off. You had yourself to blame at times. Let's just put it that way. You had yourself to blame at times. Okay, is that the last one? How many more do we have? Oh, we got 3 more. Oh my god, 3 more. Okay, next one. I usually find if someone calls someone toxic, oftentimes I feel as though they're not at 0% toxic themselves. Do you ever notice that? Just an observation I've had. That if someone says it, they're usually like, somewhere on this spectrum. Gray maybe went a little too far. Red got intense as well. But I think everyone just needs a deep breath and it's all fine. Okay, next one. Nobody needs you. Nobody needs you. That's good. That's pretty good. Unfortunately for Gray, he had the awareness to drop the nobody needed you either like 25 minutes after it happened. That needs to be talked about more. Right? Like, if he would have said it right after the king kill, boom. Like, I'm clickbaiting that, and that's amazing. But he said it like 25 minutes later after he himself was already dead. But still, it was a good line. And, okay, final meme. Cabbage going for the snipe, and then Valhalla ship. I'm so sorry, Cabbage. Cabbage, I feel for you, because, like, everyone wants something crazy to happen there at the end. And it was always going to be super tough to make the progress there. So, sorry that's the final meme, but I guess you can wash down your tears with all the money you've made. So, well played.